Okay, my name is Chris, and anyway, so I'm just going to kind of talk about staying last night in here. This is basically a 6-man teepee, and it's from Seek Outside, made in Colorado, made in the USA, in America. Same thing, this is a titanium stove. This is the their XL version. Kind of hard to see the flame and stuff from there, but we got that going. So I have branches and mixes of small hardwood. Basically, this is one-piece titanium pipe. Pretty impressive. This is aluminum pole. As you can see, I got a bunch of prusik knots. I would hang a lot of stuff. So in the nighttime, I always keep water boiling and stuff. So I would make either soup or cocoa or something like that, something to keep me warm. I would hang my gloves right here. I have my fire starter right there. I also use this piece. I put a prusik knot on this. It kind of looks like a car antenna, but it's not a car antenna. But basically this telescopes out and you can blow in there. I used this a lot last night. Then I got my forks and spoons and stuff like that. I did have my fork. These are titanium. So these were pretty good. I also too last night, I used a lamp. I had the globe out here, it's just sitting there. I never used it. This thing burned all night. And it barely used any. It was kind of full. It's still over half or about half. This thing was awesome. It was good light the whole night. And I did have set up for my ham radio. So it's a 2-meter. I actually have, it runs out. You can see strain relief. It's tied off to different ends, goes up the top. And then I have this like a portable J-pole type deal that goes off the end to the tree. So this actually, the antenna goes off into a tree. Inside here, this is a watertight deal. Of course, it's kind of open. I kept all my food and snacks and stuff like that. This is a battery. It's a car battery. This was set up so I can charge my phone or do anything, because before I've watched TV and stuff in here. So, and this was just a little portable speaker. This is just for goofing around and using my phone. Over here, ooh, there's my camera. Over here, basically, I just brought alcohol and stuff. I didn't drink too much last night. I was up most of the night doing stuff. But anyway, so for most of the night, every so often, I would have to get up and I got to constantly tap these sides. Because you can see now that it's warming up, it'll melt them. But then, especially some of the stuff is coming down like ice. So it would stick to it, so I'd have to hit it, and then push. So I needed a walkway all morning or all night and hit. So in the end, I only slept maybe a couple hours off and on, but it was never like a couple straight hours. I was up most of the night, and then towards the morning, I would do stuff. But anyways, I'm trying to think what else. So keep open area. Wool blanket. I did only sleep, even though I have a sleeping bag in here, I only slept between the layers of the wool blanket. So I laid up on top. That's how it started. And then it was working so good, I'm like, screw it, I'm actually pretty warm. If I did have a cot in here, this would have been a lot better, because the heat, like I can feel the heat a lot more than down here. So a lot of times last night when I was laying here, I could raise my hand and it'd be nice, but laying down here I could still see my breath. So it was still cold right at ground level. At first the stove was angled forward, because that's normally how I'd have it, because it'd be 2 people, 1 person here, 1 person there. I had the wood initially over there. Now I put it right here so I could sit, load it, open this up, see it, and do it. So this is kind of my whole workstation, all right in here. Then I'd have to get up every couple hours, go outside. I had the snow shovel inside, and I would have to take the snow around. The problem is the snow would start encroaching on it, and that was pretty bad. So I had to push that away because the teepee just keeps getting smaller. And I didn't use my extra guy lines. You can see this thing's kind of really flailing around. It's because it's been stretched so much with the weight of the snow. Now it's getting a chance to dry. I didn't use the outside guy lines because it would interfere, because they come out much farther. I wouldn't have been able to get the snow off. And I thought I read something somewhere. So in high winds and if it's dry, I would do that, or even rain. But with snow and you can't see those lines, it's so much better I did it like this. Plus I had the loops. I'd pull on the loops and help shed the snow. So that worked out really good. And I'm trying to think what else. Like I said, this thing really worked out great. I really wanted to see how it was going to turn out. This was a pretty big storm for out here. Certainly some of the most over the amount of time of dropping down. So this is what, January, what is it, 23rd?
23rd.
23rd of 2016. So this is kind of our big snowmageddon, so I definitely wanted to see what this stuff was able to do. Main thing too I learned, this was a full tote, this was loaded with wood. It took all of this at night. For the first so many hours it was no big deal, but certainly around 2 and 3 when the snow really started coming down, I wanted to keep this a lot hotter. But you can get this thing glowing with it. So definitely wood. So basically I would say one small tote like this per night is what I would do. Hardwood mixed with branches. Towards the end I kept looking for all the hardwood because it would burn longer, so give me a chance to nap a little bit. I think that's kind of it. We definitely had a lot of snow. Huh?
The hat.
Yeah, and this is my Mongolian hat. This is with real wolf fur, and it was made in Canada. And so this is Canadian wolf. That's why it's so warm. This thing is insanely warm. I really like it. So it's been good. Everything's been really good. Any questions? Or?
So feeding the fire, the noise. Could you get sleep from the noise?
Well, with the noise though, the problem is because where we live, because this is my backyard, we had, you know, we always had trucks and stuff coming through and snow and stuff. So, you know what I mean? So there was definitely noise all night. I definitely heard some kind of weird, like a fox or something kind of yipping, which sounded kind of crazy. It's almost like a baby crying kind of deal. So that was kind of eerie.
Okay, what about the snow coming in?
Yeah, usually I keep that a lot lower, but as the snow started piling up, then you could barely reach in to even pull the zipper out. So that got to be hard after a while. But it still gets a little drafty. Kind of the weird thing though too is this thing now actually, because it's not fully guyed in, it's nice when the wind kicks in, it helps shed everything off. So it's constantly self-shedding, which makes it a lot nicer because, you know, believe me, you know, people say, oh gee, is snow gonna stick to the sidewalls and stuff. This thing's a nice cone shape, so it naturally sheds the wind. But of course, snow is gonna start piling, especially drifting up, regardless. So if it can stick on a car that's fully waxed and stuff, and snow sticks right to it, it's gonna stick on fabric too. It freezes right up on it. But overall, this has been great.
Hanging your clothes, they're wet. Where would you do it? How would you do it?
And you know what? Because I wore my jacket though the whole time, but see, I personally wouldn't hang from here, even though they set it up for that. The gloves, definitely putting the gloves right here, but I wouldn't want to hang a jacket or anything. I would just put them on a chair, to be honest. I would just have it so that it's facing towards here, but I wouldn't hang anything from up here. You can see this is pretty violent stuff moving around. Like I said, right now the fabric's got a lot of stretch. It wasn't like this yesterday. So it's going to take a little while to kind of tighten back up because she got really stretched out. And I think that's about it.
Charcoal. Would you use it or not use it?
We can definitely try it. I definitely brought it to try. I just hadn't used it. Yeah, we'll definitely give it a try. That's for sure. You know, later on, I probably wouldn't have brought all this stuff out. I just wanted to make sure I was fully entertained. I probably wouldn't bring the big battery anymore. I do love this little boombox thing because at times I would just listen on my phone and stuff. So I was actually listening to music videos and stuff too at times. So that was kind of good. So I don't really need the big thing. That's really just for my phone and other stuff. But again, I brought a TV out here before in the past. So I wouldn't do that. That would have been slimmed down. I would try to slim everything down into there. Table space is a big thing. I did bring out this little birch piece of wood out here to put stuff on. That was a big necessity, I think, for me, was doing that. So definitely a good table, and that lamp was badass. And it stayed lit the whole time, never wanted to go out. So I'm very impressed with that, and I picked the one with the wider wick. I had a couple others that had smaller wicks, so I picked that one, and it was great. And I get glass because I've had the other ones, the metal ones, like the Dietz ones and stuff. I don't know if it's just the newer ones, but all of them leak that I bought. It takes a while, but they leak over time, so I get glass now, even though people say they may be more dangerous, but I don't drop it. It's going to fall from here to there. I think that's about it.
Is that it?
Definitely a good trip.
Okay.